Alright guys, we're back with the Honda Accord 08 3.5 and our alternator died today. I can guess why. It's covered in oil. Probably gave out. Got an oil leak. Okay, we'll deal with that later. We want to get the car going, so I'm gonna replace this alternator. Alright, we're gonna remove this reservoir, we're gonna remove the fan, and then remove this plastic piece. Then we're gonna loosen the tensioner there. I'm gonna zip tie my belt so it doesn't fall off from this pulley. I'm just gonna let it dangle down there. And there's two bolts. One right there, and one at the bottom. You can see it from right here. There it is. So there's our part number right here. The manufacturer was $275 with a $40 core. Brand new one was $330 with a $20 core. Brr. Alright, so we're gonna disconnect the battery. Gonna remove all this. And then we're gonna loosen the tensioner, pop that belt off, take the alternator out. We're trying to do this quick. Alright guys. Loosen the battery up. Everything's too heavy. Let's set the alternator. Listen to 13 and a 14, I believe. Quick. Set that aside. Like this. Just to see how bad our belt covers are doing. Oh, they're bad. Alright, now we're gonna do the 210 on the fan here. This is that easy. I guess you don't got a lot of slack with this fan cable, so I'm gonna pop it out of that clip right there, and then I'll disconnect it. Should give me some more play. Alright, so I use my long flathead. I just stuck it right there up against that plastic piece. I pressed it, and then with my other hand I just pulled the harness, and it all popped out of place. Now we can disconnect it. Disconnecting this harness is a pain. I thought I would get more cable slack if I unhooked it from that clip there, but nope. So what I ended up doing was I literally stuck my hand like this. I pressed the button, or the little tab on the connector. I pressed on the tab. And as I pressed on the tab with my finger like this, I used my other finger to push down on the harness. And that's how I got it to come out. And for this one, guys, it actually has 14mm on this fan. Somebody had already did some work, so they left them loose. So the fan was able to just slide out. But yeah, this connector is a pain. So remember, press with one finger, push on the harness with your other finger, push down on the harness. It's the only way I was able to get out. Alright guys, let's start taking this apart. Your cable nut for your alternator is a half. The first top bolt on your alternator is a 12mm. So let's start off by taking the nut off of the alternator. Alright, that's out. Now let's disconnect this harness here on the side. That's out. And there's another harness in the back of the alternator. Press and pop that out. Alright guys, for that little harness all the way at the bottom, the one all the way at the bottom, if you use your left hand and come in like this and pinch it and then slide it out, that'll be your best bet. Alright guys, this is your nut for your alternator. This is your harness going to the back, and then there's a smaller one right there. And now we're going to do a 12mm on the side. We haven't taken the tensioner off yet. I'm just going to break it loose and then I'll take the belt off. I meant. And I'm going to remove this 10mm right there. Let's get this harness out of the way. Just hook it somewhere. Don't break it. Just hook it right there. Alright, now I'm going to take the belt off and remove my first bolt on top of the alternator. Alright, so I got a 3/8 ratchet. I'm loosen that tensioner out. And a 3/8 with a 19mm. Alright guys, so it's not like the regular tensioners where you can just put force on it and it'll go. You have to just put constant pressure, see? And it's slowly going back. So don't try to force it, just put constant pressure. I gotta get the belt off now. Oh, put the belt back on. Put the belt back off. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave my tool there so I don't lose my position. All I'm doing is I'm pulling my belt up, and I'm gonna add another zip tie right here to this hose. And so when I'm ready to put it back on, I can just slide it down and go over the alternator. Alright guys, see, zip tie at the top of it, and over there, I just have it resting, but it's still on all the other pulleys because I did not write down my diagram of where it goes. But now I can remove this 12mm, the one on the bottom. Technically that's it, my whole alternator should just pop out this way. You can remove this bracket. I suggest you remove it. It'll probably make it easier for the alternator to come out. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove this 12mm holding this bracket. And then I'm going to take the whole thing off and then install it on the new one. Alright, let's do it, guys. Alright, guys. Oh man. I'm going to break my bracket out first. I'm going to break it loose. And there it is. Look at my alternator. There it is. Take them out. And then I'll remove my lower one. Ooh, don't lose it. I almost dropped it, guys. And the two different sizes, okay? The one on top and the bracket is the small one, and the one on the actual alternator is the longer one. Close to the side, don't lose them. Now we can do our bottom one, and this thing should pop out. I guess here's the bottom one, and it's a 14mm. No, crack it loose. And then that's it. I'm gonna pry it out. Right, let's get it out, guys. I'm using this little tiny extension just to give me enough, a little bit more length. Come on, get in there. Get in there. It's not cooperating, guys. It's not cooperating. Come on. I'm gonna have to use a ratchet. Alright, guys, I'm using a 3/8 ratchet, and this pipe is an extension. Alright, there it is. As soon as you hear that, you know you're gold. I can't get my impact in there, so I'm gonna go with the little extension because I don't want to get stuck in there. I do have this adjustable. It's a lot easier. Go in. If I can get it to go in, guys. Come on. Put the extension on it again. Get it to go in a little bit more. Same with the whole board. I'm just gonna ratchet it out a little bit more. And then when it's loose, I'll just take it out by hand. Okay. No, I'm just taking it out by hand. Come on. It's getting tight on me, guys. It's getting tight on me. Let's just keep at it. Do it every time. Oh. Alright, guys, I had to go back in there without the extension. I just did quarter turns while I held it with my finger. And now it's loose. Keep your socket out because I don't know if it'll come out with the socket on there. Oh, almost dropped it, guys. There it is. Alright, now I'm just gonna wiggle it out. And there it is, guys. Oh. Remove your dipstick. You can clear it right through there. We're gonna repeat the process with the new one. Okay, guys, let's put the new one back in. Push it into the same spot. Line it up at the bottom. There we go. Now we can put our long bolt in through first. Okay, guys, this bottom bolt, you almost have to do it kind of blind. You would think that it would be with the alternator all the way down in that cavity, but kind of lift it up, and at the same time wiggle your bolt around, and it'll go through. I thought it was too snug and it wasn't going in between the two little brackets where the bolt goes through, but no, I was just too far in. You have to kind of lift it out a little bit, and then you can get that bolt in there, all by feel. So we got it in. I'm gonna hand tighten it as much as I can, just enough. Oh, it's going all the way in, so we're good. I'm gonna put that bracket on, and once I put that bracket and this upper bolt, then I'll tighten them both down real nice and snug. If you tighten that one down right now, you're not gonna be able to move it up and down like this. So, all right, there it is. You guys, I'm putting in my bracket. Remember, the smaller bolt goes on top. Just get it going, and then your longer bolt goes on the bottom. Now you can lift it up and line it up. Line it up with your bracket. Start it by hand. Alright, now I can tighten it all the way. I'm gonna start putting back my harness, my belt, and that's it. We're done. Alright, guys, I'm gonna finish putting these top ends on. The 212mm. We can tighten down these all the way. And we're gonna use a breaker bar or a ratchet, whatever works. Okay, here we go. You guys can put it to torque specs if you want. Kind of just do it by feel, by how tight it was when I removed it. Don't go too crazy because This shit's aluminum. Just do it just enough. I already have a feel for it, so I can tell where it's tight, and then I just go a little bit, not even a quarter turn more. Alright, that one's done. The bottom one's a 15. Is it a 15? Let's see. 14, guys, 14. I forgot. 14. I'm gonna do the bottom one with the ratchet. Alright, guys, I got my ratchet in there with my 14. I know you can't see, but I'm gonna tighten it. Until I can't tighten it no more, I'll put my little pipe extension on this thing, and I'm gonna go like a quarter turn more. So if I feel, you guys can torch back yours. Alright, right there. Got my pipe here. I'll do 2. Alright, that feels really tight there. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. I know we can do our belt, put in our harness, plug up the battery, put back our what's this thing called? Our dipstick. And we should be done, guys. Then we should be done. Alright, guys, we can cut our zip tie now. I'm gonna leave the top one still attached. I'm gonna put a breaker bar down there. I'm trying not to mess with the position. I'm gonna adjust this thing. Okay, go up. Steady, remember? Use my breaker bar. Steady pressure. And I'll slowly move, guys. It's not like your regular ones. Okay. That's over my alternator. It's on the grooves. Let it go. I can verify the belt's on the teeth. Alright, it didn't move. Now we can cut our other zip tie. Or you can save it if you want. Just cut it. There we go. Alright. Now we're gonna do our battery wire and our 2 little connectors here. And then we can put our fan back in and our reservoir. I'm not gonna tighten those 2 in case we gotta come back in here, because it's so tight you would have to go from underneath and remove that plastic cover to get your hand up in there. So I'm just gonna leave those loose like that. I'm just gonna drop the fan right in down there, and I'm gonna go nowhere. Bolt it back up, make my harness. So I'm gonna do this one first, then the fan, then that harness, and then battery. We'll jump it. We'll be ready to go. Okay, guys, we're gonna plug up our battery wire in this 12mm. Okay, get a nut on there. Get it the right way. Okay, hand tighten it. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Okay, we're good. Good right there. Remember, don't go crazy tight. Alright, put our lower harness in first. And then the upper one, and we're done. Alright, guys, that lower connector is for the AC. Goes right there. That's where this lower one goes. I thought it went to the alternator at first, but it doesn't. So, just line it up. There it is. Let's get our upper connector in place. There it is. Boots around it. Okay. Now we put the fan on. Alright, guys, it's running. It hasn't turned off. So that's a good sign, because it turned off in the morning. We jumped it, stayed on for a little bit, and then turned off again. So success. One more suggestion, guys. After you put your harness and everything for the alternator, before you bolt down your fan, you're gonna have to squeeze your hand in like this through the side here. Grab the lower harness and lift it up and pop it into place. Otherwise, if your hands are too big, you're gonna have to come in through the bottom. You're gonna have to remove that plastic shield. And then once you hook it up, then you can put your 2 10mm up top. And then, like I told you guys, I left my 2 10mm at the bottom kind of loose, just enough so the fan could slide into place. And I'm only tightening my top ones in case I gotta go back in there. So it's very important, because if you put your bolts in before you put your harness, there's no way you're gonna get your hand in there. No way. So that's the last suggestion. Alright, everything turned out good. We had oil leak from this part right here. I forget what this little piece is on this corner here. We had replaced the gaskets a couple years ago, and it was leaking. I don't know why, but I just tightened everything back up, and the leak stopped. So hopefully that solves our issue for oil hitting the alternator, because that alternator wasn't cheap. $275 remanufactured, $330 new plus $40 core. Alright, one last try, guys. I left it running for 10 minutes, so I know everything's good. Back in business, guys. Back in business.